If Greg Koch could bottle his band's sound, he'd put Red Bull and Monster out of business. The 6'7" Sasquatch guitar is a known entity among guitarists, but his new blues album demonstrates that he has something everyone wants: boundless energy untapped. Named by Fender as one of the top 10 unsung guitarists, he's known for oozing humor in his YouTube videos and on stages around the world, both as a frontman for his various bands and as a brand ambassador for various guitar, amp, and pedal makers. Perhaps less recognized, though, is that his mirth and joie de vivre come out in every note and strange sound he manages to tear from his guitar strings. From blues rock to jazz to funk to surf to country, Koch has left no stone unturned in his quest for musical mastery, and he blends this wide bounty into his own signature style that he calls gristle. Now, given Greg's tendency to fly from one musical universe to another in the same album, sometimes even in the same song, it's understandable that some might find this gristle a little bit hard to chew. Blues is a different animal, an 8-song compilation with 2 new blues tracks along with 6 previously recorded ones. PSA, an extended version with 5 additional tracks, is available on Greg's site. Go get it. Although still a little bit patchwork at times, in part because the production style understandably varies between the live recordings and the studio recordings, blues nonetheless exhibits a greater thematic unity than many of Koch's previous releases. That's of course because it's a compilation of all of his blues recording. And despite this greater thematic unity, his songs nonetheless spill over with musical ideas. Blues is like an rare element, so energy dense that a single atom of it could power a lunar mission. Although much of that power emanates from Greg's guitar, he does play well with others, including larger than usual ensembles on the album's first 2 tracks, both fresh recordings of Muddy Waters tunes. Can't Lose What You Never Had, featuring Southern rock singer and Wet Willie frontman Jimmy Hall, along with the Memphis Horns, is a livelier, even more amped up version of this song than the Allman Brothers version, yet it actually stays truer to Muddy's original. And on the second track, Can't Be Satisfied, Greg shares both the vocal and guitar work with Larry McCrae. Now, despite the hard knocks of lyrics on both of these tunes, they really seem to stress the irony that, musically speaking, blues is often satisfyingly upbeat. And that contrast is even more obvious on the Koch original instrumental that follows, The Stumble, recorded in front of a live audience and originally released on Koch's album Live on the Radio Volume 1. Here and elsewhere on the album, Koch and company show how well they understand musical dynamics, building up from relatively mellow to absolutely rip-roaring and provoking hollered yas and woos from the audience as they seemingly lift the entire crowd off the ground. Greg's solo on this song releases a cauldron of tension off into the atmosphere, and then the band brings everyone down in for a safe, relaxed landing. That sense of resolution carries over into Stormy Monday, a version of the T-Bone Walker tune that actually inspired B.B. King to play guitar. Malford Milligan's vocals are soothing, and Greg Koch's outside-the-box sort of jazzy chord voicings on this lull listeners into this slow, swaying blues. But a force of nature is unleashed when Malford beckons Greg to solo, saying something that sounds like, "You unsullied Viking, go!" And if that doesn't blow your hair back, the next track will, a 9-minute version of Jimi Hendrix's Red House. Between tone and touch, Koch captures something in the opening notes of this song that you're not going to find in the Hendrix original. And from there, he just goes deeper and deeper into foreign territory, voice doubling his guitar like George Benson and incorporating a sort of Van Halen-style volume swell technique, all while nailing the vocal. The Damn Thing, another Koch original instrumental, takes cues from the early electrified country of Speedy West and Jimmy Bryant. Fierce as it is, though, it sounds a bit too polished, being a studio recording on the heels of these Club on Fire live recordings. And really, honestly, what could follow Red House? I mean, come on, really? But that being said, it does set the stage nicely for The Ripper, the closer on this 8-track release for streaming platforms, and a volcano of epic riffage. This album, Blues, is a sonic workout for mind, for body, for ears. It will have you sweating. And it really highlights the fact that so much of what we look for in music is the catharsis, energy released by truly powerful forms of self-expression. In search of such novelty and vigor, young listeners especially cue into rebelliousness, which in today's day, more and more is expressed in the sonic equivalent of a middle finger. But what Koch offers here is something far better: sonic jet fuel. Get yours from the source at Greg's site. You'll be glad you did. If you want to show me you care, like, subscribe, and share. Over and out.